Delighted to be with you. Thank you very much. Honored to be here with the former chairman and to hear my colleague Senator Kerry speak. The departing comments were about his long tenure and his long efforts in regard to the issues that you care so much about. I really am here as a newcomer in many ways to these issues, and I thought it might be valuable to tell you how you brought someone like me along to be supportive of the concepts and philosophies, the positions that at least many of you in this room care a lot about. One of the priorities of my time, and I've only been a member of the Senate now for a little more than a year, served as indicated in the House for 7 terms, and I would tell you that my highest priority, I suppose, in coming to the Senate was to see that we get our financial house in order. And I've been very disappointed by what I've seen in Congress and the President's ability to do anything significant about paying our way. And so we saw a number of opportunities that seemed to evaporate, escape us, and we continue to be headed down a path of serious financial problems. It occurred to me that another way of addressing these issues that are perhaps much more enjoyable, more exciting, is to talk about growing the economy. Less fun talking about how to cut spending, which I continue to believe that we need to do, but a greater opportunity to help us address our country's financial condition is to see that our economy is growing. And so entrepreneurship, startup companies became something that I want to champion. And so based upon research done by the Kauffman Foundation in Kansas City on entrepreneurship, we introduced legislation. Senator Warner graciously agreed to become my co-sponsor, and we introduced legislation called the Startup Act, designed to create an environment once again in this country where a person who has an idea takes it to their garage or their basement, can bring that idea to market, in the process of pursuing wealth, create jobs. And that then lent itself to Senator Wyden coming to me to see if I had an interest in the entrepreneurial aspect of Protect IP, of high tech. And it is clear that jobs created in this country in recent history have really revolved around technology, and they've revolved around startup companies. In fact, the Kauffman Foundation's research indicates that new firms create 3 million jobs every year, and all net new jobs between 1980 and 2005 were created by companies less than 5 years old. So it was the entrepreneurship, the desire to see startup companies that lent itself toward me beginning to take an interest in the topic of today. I am the ranking Republican on the Appropriations Subcommittee on Financial Services and General Government, which means that the FCC has some interest in decisions that we make about their funding. And so there's that tie to the FCC. But this broad goal of seeing a growing economy lent itself toward me getting interested in the issue of spectrum. And so I joined my colleagues that Senator Kerry mentioned in the letter to our leaders, to Mitch McConnell and to Harry Reid, indicating that this spectrum issue needs to be done in a thoughtful, methodical, and way that ends up with us having a great product, not missing an opportunity at this point in time, if the goal is, and I heard what Senator Kerry said about that they may decide they just simply want to maximize the revenue. Well, I think you can make an awfully good argument that maximizing the revenue is to leave some spectrum available to allow competition. And again, going back to the entrepreneurship, not only may it maximize the amount of money raised in the auction by not auctioning off every bit of spectrum, the companies that then grow up out of that unlicensed spectrum create jobs, pay taxes, and we have a growing economy. And so there's a broader perspective, I think, that cannot be forgotten as we develop what the auction should look like. And I would say that Congress's expertise in this area, if you leave it to Congress, I think we would have some skepticism about the outcome. We ought to leave this process in place as it has been in the past, with the FCC making the determinations about the methodology, the outline of what the auction is going to be. And I know this is a debate that needs to come to an end in the near future. But the goal here to me, what I would say is I just see that there is an incredible opportunity for us to enable innovation, to increase competition, and to expand broadband. And that's another aspect of this that comes to me as a Kansan. We have so many areas that are either unserved or underserved that the opportunities that this auction presents in preserving the chance for broadband expansion in places like rural America, places like my state, which are part of rural America, is important. And as Senator Kerry indicated, we all know the demand for spectrum is growing, and we can't predict all the devices that will develop as a result of having that unlicensed spectrum available. So I just want to make certain that we leave the FCC discretion to make some decisions that set aside that spectrum for unlicensed use. I have great faith in the American free enterprise system and the ability for us as Americans to technically advance. And as long as we don't shut off the opportunity for those entrepreneurs to utilize unlicensed spectrum, we have a chance of growing our economy, putting people to work, and getting our financial house in order. Kansas is a very broadcast-oriented state. Our weather is something that changes on an ongoing basis. We care a lot about Kansas broadcasters. I want to make certain that we do things that recognize their important role for providing services. But it is so important for us to get this right. And I appreciate all the folks in this room who've come together to hear the experts and to then advise us in Congress about how we do this in a manner that does the things that I think are so important: innovation, competition, and the opportunity to expand broadband. So thank you for the opportunity to be here and to wish you all well as the debate and discussion is ongoing. Please consider me an individual member of the Senate who's interested in what you have to say and would welcome your input to try to make certain that we do our job right for the benefit of Americans, not only today, but for future generations of Americans. The decisions we make have long-lasting effects. Thank you all very much.